What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Untitled Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of this week's Fan Mail of the Week. We have officially begun the 30 Days of Halloween special, everybody. It is October. Great games coming out this month. Great TV shows. Possibly great movies as well, such as Ouija and Annabelle and whatnot. So I really hope you guys are going to enjoy this, and I really hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. It is Friday, so you know what that means. Just everybody's going to kick back and relax. I am very sore and tired from practice. Jesus Christ. Of course, this is hoodie season. This is, sweatpants season. So, I was actually watching the news earlier, and they were talking about how we are going to have a very brutal winter. So, for those of you out there who are going to be living in the States where it's relatively cold, please make sure you guys are prepared for this year's winter, because I'm telling you right now, I have that feeling that we're just gonna be in for a lot of shit. I don't know if it's gonna be as bad as last winter, snowfall after snowfall after snowfall. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Also, guys, for those of you out there who haven't already done so, please go on ahead and check out and subscribe to my second channel. It is UnrealEnt Network. On there, you guys are going to find a whole bunch of stuff that you guys will not find on here. The link will be in the description below. You will find some really cool stuff on there, guys. I cannot wait for this month. Walking Dead Season 5, Evil Within, WWE 2K15, Assassin's Creed, and then we got November rolling on in next month. We have Thanksgiving, we have Call of Duty, we have a whole bunch of great stuff. Halloween coming up at the end of the month. Great TV shows on AMC. It is going to be one of those months where you just want to sit back, relax, and have a good time. So, everybody, let's begin with our first question of the week, which is from Carlos Starblade. Hey, Alex, thank you for taking the time to answer my questions, bro. You have a really big dick. Wow. Thank you. that was pretty cool. I've never heard nobody say that to me before, so kudos to you, Carlos. Thank you. Anyways, on to the questions. Question number 1, does the feeling of death scare you? We all have a day that we will die, so how would you like to be remembered? Question 2, personal question. To make a long story short, I was talking to this girl named Heather, and she just broke up with her boyfriend because he was a loser. I took her out on a date and spent the entire night and day with her in the car, just making her smile and laugh, and I took her to go see Transformers 4 and a lounge after to play pool. I spent a lot of energy and time into her. A few weeks later, she falls for another guy who's into street competitions like calisthenics. He's an uneducated idiot who's going to play her and use her for her body. What do? I am broken inside. Wow. I have a very similar story, but that's cold right there, man. Question 3, thoughts on the death of Robin Williams. Question 4, Dragon Ball Z's Vegeta versus Dragon Ball GT's Cell. Who would win? Very good. Question 5, thoughts on Resident Evil 7 in the making. Well, to answer your first question, Mr. Carlos, yes. We all have a day in which we will all die one day, of course. Now, nobody is a fan of death. I'm pretty sure none of you guys ever want to, know the experience of dying. But of course, I mean, we all have to live through that. We're human beings. We're not immortal. And I personally, you may not relate to this, but I am a Christian. I do believe in Christ and God, and I believe that there is a life after this. I just can't, grasp the feeling that this is it. But that's just my personal belief. I mean, if anybody has any other belief, that is perfectly fine. It's what you believe. It's your faith. But how do I want to be remembered? Honestly, I don't want to be remembered as a bum or as a broke loser or a very rich and greedy asshole or a person that only cared for himself or a person that, only looked out for whatever the case may be. I want to be remembered as a very good human being. I want to be remembered as a person that tried to help everybody get on the right track. I want to be remembered as a person that had a very good heart, because that's how I am as a person. I have no other way to tell you. I mean, if you knew me personally, if you ever saw me and hung out with me and know me from the inside in, you would know what kind of a person I am, and that's the type of person that I am. I'm a very humble person, very respectful person, and I want to be remembered as a good man. I don't want to be remembered as a rich, self-centered person or a poor street kid or something like that. You know, I just want to be remembered as a guy who tried to help everybody as physically as possible, as emotionally as possible, as mentally as possible, and someone who just gave back to his community and is a really, really genuine person. That's it. Whether I die poor or whether I die filthy rich, I accept either or, you know, because that's just the way life is. Money doesn't change me. Women don't change me. Materialistic objects don't change me. That's just me. I can only speak for myself. I am one person living amongst 7 billion. Other people want to be remembered for being the richest person in the world. Other people want to be remembered as having the most cars, or been with the most women, or, you know, possibly, you know, owning their own, you know, continent. I don't know. You know, people have different ambitions and whatnot. But one of the main reasons why I'm here is because I want to help a lot of you guys, and that's why I take my time out to answer your questions, video format questions, text questions. It doesn't really matter as long as I interact with you guys, and you guys know how I am. I've been doing this for weeks now, for almost 2 years. That's crazy. Continue, I mean, just consistently just doing this, and if that doesn't scream dedication, I don't know what does. But yes, the feeling of death does freak me out a little bit, because can you imagine how it's like to have and breathe your last breath? You know what I mean? Like, that is very scary. And I've been seeing a lot of things recently. I don't know if you guys remember the beheading of that journalist. You know, that's pretty scary. Imagine being beheaded, or imagine dying by getting shot, or dying via drowning, or dying burning alive, or dying falling to your death, or dying just by simple old age, or dying by a disease. It's scary. And we will all die in different ways. Sadly enough, cherish your life, cherish your moments, cherish your friends, and make sure that you guys do something that'll make you stand out and be remembered for a good person, rather than just living life in the moment and then having to be remembered by nothing later on. I mean, it's a very complicated situation. To answer your second question, your personal question, that's really messed up. You see, women, and I know that there might be a lot of women watching this. Men are dogs. Women are manipulative liars. It is what it is. You know, we live in a very socially destabilizing environment. It ruins everything, you know. Media ruins everything. The social influence degrades our generation. Women are professional liars. Women are way better liars than men. Men can't lie as good as women, but they can definitely manipulate them just a little bit better than what a woman can to a man. But if you really took your time to put your effort into this Heather girl, and you really tried to invest your emotions into her, and you truly liked her for who she was, and she did that to you, she's a horrible person. I mean, a lot of girls, I mean, let's all face facts, right? Each and every single one of you watching this, we're all attracted to the opposite sex, or the same sex, whatever. You're all attracted by, you know, physical appearance. I've never seen a person physically be attracted to someone else based on something other than their appearance. When we first look at somebody, as a man, we think, wow, she's hot, wow, she's beautiful, wow, she's gorgeous, wow, she's sexy. When a woman looks at a man, she says, wow, he's hot, wow, he's handsome, wow, he's stunning, wow, he's a model, wow, he's a god, you know? It's always going to be physical attraction at first. Now, you may not be the most physically gifted person, I assume, if she's going after that, a person that's into calisthenics and street competitions, but at least you have a way bigger heart than him, knowing the fact that you know that he's going to just use her for her body, and that's horrible, you know? I don't know what you mean by uneducated idiot. I don't know what you mean by that. Given the fact that you're saying that he's from the streets, probably does not give him the best impression, but if he's into street competitions like calisthenics, that just means that the guy must be ripped, he must be jacked, and you may not be as jacked or ripped as him, but it's quite sad to see a woman when she sees a man that has everything going, and he's dedicating his time by taking her out to the pool hall and going to go see Transformers 4, and like you said, spending an entire night and day in the car just making her laugh and smile. I don't know what you guys did, but apparently you must have had a good time with her. But either way, what do? You move on. You can't just keep wallowing in the past. Eventually she's gonna come back to you, and it's up to you whether or not you want to accept her back. When you accept her back, you're kind of giving her the green light to say, oh, well, you know, you did it before, you kind of broke my heart, and I'm giving you permission to do it again. If I were you, I wouldn't take her back right away. If she does ever come back, keep her in the friend zone, you know? Get your life on track. I mean, just get things going that'll benefit you, and eventually you're going to find the right girl for you. It's incredibly hard. I mean, till this day, I look for the perfect girl for me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of women look for the perfect men for them. Same thing as men. Men look for the perfect women for them. There's a lot of people on this planet. Sadly enough, the way the music industry is, the way movies are today, the way we have social media like Instagram and stuff, it ruined the way we perceive things as men and women. You know, like we have these expectations that are so incredibly high that we just tend to forget about the little things, and that's horrible, man. I don't know what to say, but what I would recommend for you to do is just move on and do things that'll benefit your career and your future, and then when she comes back, that's when the fate of her remaining in your life is going to be in your hands. So, to answer your third question, the death of Robin Williams. That was horrible. When I first found out he killed himself, I could not believe it. A lot of people were telling me that he suffered from depression, and that's horrible. I mean, having a guy like Robin Williams, who had a lot of charisma and personality and was able to engage you in so many things, for him to take his own life, that just means that even celebrities, even very rich people aren't, you know, just susceptible to pain or sorrow or depression or suicide. You know, we will never know what went through Robin Williams' head. A lot of people see it as a conspiracy, that they probably killed him because he was releasing a lot of information that he shouldn't have. Some people were saying that the man was depressed and he had a horrible life and he just wanted to end it all. We'll never know. But Robin Williams was a very charismatic man. I always liked Robin Williams. I can't say that I was a hardcore fan because that'll make me seem like a hypocrite. I really liked Jumanji. That was my favorite movie that Robin Williams was in. But all I can say is that I hope God forgave him, and I hope he rests in his soul, because for him to do that, it's horrible. It really is. I mean, my thoughts on that is just very surprising and very shocked. To answer your fourth question, Dragon Ball Z Vegeta versus Dragon Ball GT Cell. I think at that point, Vegeta would be able to handle Cell, because he's able to transform into a Super Saiyan 2, although Cell probably would be a lot stronger than when he was with Gohan during the Dragon Ball Z saga. It would be very interesting to see. I do believe the winner would be Vegeta, not by much though, because I do believe Vegeta would cave in to his previous desires and his ambitions and whatnot. I don't believe that he would be susceptible to all of Cell's attacks, but I do believe he would manage somehow. So for me, I would have to say Vegeta, only based on experience and the fact that it's been many, many years since Cell came back, but although Cell does remember a lot of the old fighters' techniques and whatnot, it would be very interesting to see him combat Vegeta. But I would have to say Vegeta if we're talking after Kid Buu. So my money's on the Prince of All Saiyans. And finally, to answer your last question, Resident Evil 7, if they decide to make that game, I really hope to God that they do it the right way. I really hope that the game is going to deliver on all aspects in all different ways. I mean, I really hope that it goes back and it delivers the true survival horror that we asked for. Look at Silent Hills. Silent Hills is a perfect example of how awesome, you know, you can make a survival horror game these days. The Evil Within coming out, same thing. Shinji Mikami's making it. So I just think that Resident Evil 7 just really truly needs to just, you know, get back on track in terms of being a very rich and just captivating survival horror game. A AAA survival horror game is what we need in Resident Evil. So aside from that, Resident Evil 7, if they continue to do the action-packed bullshit, it's going to flop and it's going to fail, and it'll be the end of Resident Evil forever, sadly enough. So anyways, Mr. Carlos, thank you for the questions, my friend, and I hope you have a fantastic week, bro. And now, moving on to the next question, which is from Jones Network. Alex, you are the freaking man. Thank you, man. Thank you for being who you are today as a person, and your second channel is amazing, UnrealEnt Network. Here are my questions. Thank you, man. It really means a lot. Thank you, Jones. Question 1, do you think we will ever see a Dawn of the Dead 2? We need one because the first movie is what symbolized the true zombie movie. Question 2, what was the scariest Halloween movie for you as a child? Mine was Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, Oh boy, do I have stories about that. Question 3, what is your favorite fan-made Dragon Ball Z character and why? Mine is Super Saiyan 5 Broly. Question 4, in Dawn of the Dead 2004, what would have you done if you spent your days inside of that mall? Question 5, thoughts on WrestleMania 31, Bryan versus Lesnar or Roman versus Lesnar, Undertaker returning, Sting versus Triple H? Well, to answer your first question, yes, we do need a Dawn of the Dead 2. I loved that movie so much. I remember watching it not too long ago, and it's pretty freaking cool. You know, I thought it was pretty short, but I loved the characters. I loved Anna. I loved Andy. I loved Steve, being the, you know, tenacious dickhead that he was. Didn't want to, you know, help out or contribute to anybody or whatnot. I loved Michael. So I do believe we really need a second film to find out what really happens. Of course, it needs to be directed and made by Zack Snyder, because he made and directed the first one, of course. Now, I don't know why many people don't like the remake Dawn of the Dead. I thought it was pretty interesting. Of course, a lot of people were complaining about, oh, it doesn't follow to George A. Romero's, you know, Dawn of the Dead. George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead was so boring. I thought it was a good film, but it was just boring. You know, like, you already knew some things that were going to happen. You already pretty much contemplated on what was going to go down. But, you know, as much as I loved it, I just thought that they could have added more to it. And, you know, I mean, although it did lead up to Day of the Dead, which is pretty cool, I just think that the Dawn of the Dead remake was that much better because it had symbolic references to real-life stuff. Although the only flaw was we didn't know the origins of this virus or how these people even came to be. We don't know if it was an infection, mutation. We don't know if it was a disease, probably rabies or something. I mean, throughout every zombie film, we kind of knew what was going on. With 28 weeks later, 28 days later, we had the symptoms from the monkeys or whatnot, you know, I just a whole bunch of stuff, bro. Like, I don't know, I just felt like, you know, I just felt like we needed to see what happened when they got to the island, because the final scene we got was when Michael shot himself, and then we had, you know, everybody on that boat scavenge through and look for stuff, and then they found the camera. They found Steve's camera, and then they were like, oh, whoa, like, this is Steve's camera and stuff. Like, let's go on ahead and see what's on it. And they found some footage and whatnot. It was really, really cool. But I just think personally that they need to continue that and showcase what happened after. I mean, the zombies were fantastic. There's nothing scarier than flesh-eating zombies who just run at you full force, and that's just terrifying. Of course, we saw that in the Dawn of the Dead film. So if you guys agree with me, if you guys want to see a Dawn of the Dead 2, hashtag Dawn of the Dead 2, and I mean, let's see if we can make it happen. I mean, we all have a voice, so I don't see why not. I mean, we all potentially have the power to change things nowadays, so I wouldn't see why not, you know? To answer your second question, scariest Halloween movie for me as a child, it was probably Leprechaun. Probably like the first Leprechaun. Another movie that I would say freaked me out was Child's Play. Child's Play 1 and Child's Play 2 really creeped me out. Chucky, of course. I also had It the Clown. It really freaking scared the piss out of me. I hated clowns so much after that. But as I started getting older, I mean, nothing really scares me except for, like, demonic stuff that happens, things that you can't really see. Of course, you know, having evil clown monsters and little leprechauns and little talking dolls and serial killers with masks and, you know, burnt victims with claws on their fingers doesn't really scare me as much now because I know it's not realistic. But what is realistic is things that you can't see. You know, so that's something that really freaks me out. It doesn't scare me, but it just gives me the creeps. But as a kid, A Nightmare on Elm Street, it kind of freaked me out because after watching the second Nightmare on Elm Street, I remember I used to get so terrified of Freddy's laugh more than anything else. It's not like I was the type of kid that was too terrified to go to sleep, but I was just afraid of his laugh. Every time I would hear him laugh, I would think, what if I'm walking through my house alone and, you know, I hear his laugh or something, I'll probably catch a heart attack or whatever, you know? So, but, I mean, those would have to be the movies that I would say scared me as a child. So, to answer your third question, favorite fan-made Dragon Ball Z characters? Well, aside from my character, RECON, of course, which I truly, truly love, I would have to say Zycor is one of my favorites because Zycor is a half son of Goku, half son of the South Supreme Kai, and he is like, you know, this very ominous character that hates everyone and whatnot. He's just very, very ruthless, and he's a Saiyan, you know, a hybrid Saiyan, half God. So that's pretty cool. Another one of my favorites are Super Baby. It's Super Baby Janembu, I believe it is. Baby Super Janembu, or Baby Janembu. There we go. Baby Janembu. The fusions of Super Buu absorbing Janemba and Baby absorbing Janembu. So just imagine that character. Baby Janemba and Super Buu all in one. You know, you're going to have Baby Janembu run around with the power of like a Super Saiyan 7 or something, just incredibly powerful. I remember when I first saw images of Baby Janembu fight, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Saiyan 3 Vegito at the same time. Baby Janembu slaughtered them. It was pretty sick to see. I might make a review one day based on that. And then Gogeta and Vegito fused for the first time, creating Gogeta, and then they fought off Baby Janembu, and it was a battle, let me tell you. Aside from Baby Janembu would probably be Super Saiyan 5 Goku, because Goku looked absolutely sick. He was huge, he was jacked, his outfit looked amazing, his hair was like so mystique and so wild. It was pretty cool. And probably like the last favorite character I would have to say is Rigger, Dragon Ball New Age, because he had this presence of being Vegeta's brother. He genuinely went after Vegeta just to kill him, but of course, you know, Goku and everybody else got in the way, so they all had to intervene, and Rigger had to fight them all off as well. But Rigger would have to be another one of my favorites, to be honest. So to answer your fourth question, what would I have done if I was in that mall? Honestly, I don't understand why they left the damn mall. Why would you leave the mall? That's so dumb. We have food, we have shelter, we have communication, we have a lot of room to do whatever the hell it is we want. We have fresh beds to sleep on, fresh couches, we have a water system. We have everything in the mall. Of course, we're going to run out of food eventually, but I would not leave the mall until we have fully run out of everything that we needed and we had no other choice but to leave. You know, I would have spent my days in the mall. If everybody else were to leave, I would honestly convince one more person to stay with me, and me and that person would just hold it off until the very end. I mean, it would not have been a good idea to leave at that particular moment because, I mean, having to see all the zombies outside, it's just terrifying. I mean, but then again, it would have created a good distraction for me because it would have led the zombies away from the mall, and they would have been chasing those two buses, and I would have been in that mall just completely safe, like, hey, I ain't got to worry about shit. These zombies are eventually going to decay and die off, and I should be good because I have enough, you know, energy and food here to keep me going. So, but I would have spent my days in that mall. I don't see how anybody could have left. And to answer your final question, WrestleMania 31 is going to be awesome. I really hope it's not Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar because Roman Reigns, I think, should not be in the title picture just yet. I think it should be Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar or Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Daniel Bryan finally comes back and he's like, listen, I want my damn titles back. You were only holding them just for me, and I want to beat you. I want to fight you for them, and that would be a really good match, Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Or, you know, possibly having Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar. But if Bray Wyatt can't return, or excuse me, if Bray Wyatt can't fight Brock Lesnar, I would love to see Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. That right there is a potential for such a great story. You know, you have Bray Wyatt with his crazy promos talking about Taker. I read a recent interview where Sting wants to wrestle Triple H just in case he can't wrestle The Undertaker. Having Triple H versus Sting would be so cool to see. I don't see why a lot of people would shit on that. Oh, it would be so dumb, you know, blah, blah, blah. I think Triple H versus Sting would be pretty cool. Because Triple H can still go and Triple H would carry Sting and help him have a good match. But WrestleMania 31 is going to be a very, 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 very interesting WrestleMania because I want to see the direction in which they're going to go in. They're probably going to have The Rock come back and fight Brock Lesnar, The Rock versus Brock again, or something along those lines. But personally for me, I'm really excited. Of course, we're coming off of many pay-per-views coming up soon, so the Royal Rumble is coming up. I'm very excited about that. Just about, what, 3 months away? That's going to be pretty cool. So we're just going to have to wait and see, but WrestleMania 31 should be awesome. So, but anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Andrew. Hola, Alex, or Unreal Entertainment Gaming. What's up? What's going on, brother? I have some questions. Question 1, did you hear that mosquitoes are going to be extinct? Question 2, have you played Shin Budokai? Question 3, do you count the episode of Bardock as canon? That is it, and have a nice day, homie. Thank you, Andrew. Well, to answer your first question, it's about time. It's about time. Who really here likes mosquitoes? Anybody? Anybody? No? Exactly. Nobody cares or likes for mosquitoes because what are mosquitoes? They're blood-sucking insects. They want to get on you. They want to... And remember, insects can, especially mosquitoes, they can transmit disease, viruses, and whatnot. Hell no. If a mosquito dies, good for it. If mosquitoes go extinct, thank God. I mean... mosquitoes are just so bad for you. I mean, they bite you. They create so many freaking problems, health problems. I remember a long time ago reading about a report where some guy was bitten by mosquitoes and he had the hives and whatnot. It was the worst, man. Like, he had like these giant boils all over his body. It was disgusting. So if mosquitoes go extinct, good for them. I hope the very last mosquito before he dies gets roasted to death or something. Mosquitoes are just pesticide creatures. They're disgusting. I am not a fan of them. Anybody who's been under the weather and who's been outside and been bit by a mosquito know the exact same feeling of, you know, these little insects just being on you and just sucking the blood out of you. It's horrible. You know, I hope mosquitoes just vanish and that's it. Who cares about mosquitoes? They're not good for our environment. Whatever. Mosquitoes, I just hope that one day someone spirit bombs all of them and that's it. To answer your second question, yes, I have played Shin Budokai. I'm not going to reveal too much, but I just might go on ahead and do a little walkthrough maybe. Yes, no? All right. I'm going to keep my my mouth on a hush-hush for that. But yeah, I have played Shin Budokai. It's been a while, but I have played it and... let's just say wait and see what I'm going to do next. So, and to answer your last question, do I count the episode of Bardock being canon? Ooh. Some people might argue with me on this. Some people might say yes. Some people might say no. But that episode, I believe, should be canon in a sense. Although... what didn't really make sense to me was how the hell did Bardock get blasted hard? He got blasted so hard that he went back in time. How's that possible? By Frieza, really? If that's the case, Gohan has way more power than Frieza. He should have blasted Cell back into the past too. That really did baffle me. It really did. I had such a huge problem with that. Of course, if this took place before, or maybe after the incident, of course, it would have had a better story, but I don't know. I would like to consider it to be canon, but there's just some part of me that has to say no, because how the hell can Bardock survive an explosion of that magnitude and go back in time and turn into a Super Saiyan? It boggles me. I think Bardock is a great character. Bardock deserves to have a moment of glory, but having him go back in time after a simple attack like that, no. I really had a problem with that. When I first saw it, I was like, what? I mean, throughout the movie, I was okay with, you know, him fighting Lord Chill and whatnot, just beating the piss out of him, transforming into a Super Saiyan. But the beginning of the movie is what threw me off. I was like, this sucks. What the hell? Like, how are you alive, dude? You're telling me that nobody else went back in time with you? It's just you? But some people may argue with me on that, but I would consider it not to be canon just for that opener alone. So, but anyways, Mr. Andrew, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a great week, man. And now moving on to the next question, which is from DJ Fusion. Sir, you are the best. Thank you, DJ. Here are my questions. Question number 1, what would you do if you looked out your window right now and saw thousands of zombies trying to get into your building now? Damn, that would not be a pretty image. Question 2, will you be doing a WWE 2K15 Open for us subscribers? Because if you do, I want to wrestle you. Question 3, what are your thoughts on the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror specials? Question 4, do you believe that the Antichrist is walking amongst us today? If so, what do you think will happen in the near future? Question 5, Halloween or Friday the 13th? Well, to answer your question, DJ, if I were to look outside my window right now and I were to see thousands of zombies, number one, I would stop doing this broadcast. That's definitely for sure. I would stop doing what I'm doing. I would quickly run to my door, open it up, and see if my hallway are secured. If not, I would just barricade myself inside of my house. I live in an apartment complex with 6 other families, so there's 2, 4, 6. There's 3 floors, obviously, 2 on each, 2 families on each floor. So I'm on the top floor, so I don't have to worry about much being on the bottom. But since I'm on the top, if I were to notice that they didn't get in yet, I would barricade my stairs so nobody can come up the stairs or down the stairs for that matter. I would knock on my neighbor's door. If nobody answers, I would bust down the door, use the door for like a barricade. I would do so much shit, guys, you have no idea. I'm very, very creative. So if they were running zombies, I'd be screwed. Just imagine that right now. Just imagine like you all are watching this right now, and the next thing you know, all you hear is like zombies coming up from behind you and stuff. I would shit my pants. But since I'm on the 3rd floor, I would use everything around me as a weapon. I would use this microphone. I would use this computer screen. I would use my giant television. I would use my Xbox One. I would use my PlayStation 4. I would use this remote control next to me. I would use my stereo system. I would throw my blender. I would throw my refrigerator. I would throw my boombox system. I'd throw my folders. I would throw everything at them. So, as cool as it may be to think about the fact that, hey, there's going to be a zombie apocalypse, everybody just brace yourselves, it would not be cool. I mean, have you not seen The Walking Dead? Have you not seen Dawn of the Dead? Have you not seen Resident Evil? You know, stuff like that. Things don't always turn out for the better. I mean, people become very dumb during these type of situations, and they wouldn't be able to function correctly, so they would all eventually fall. So, but if that were to happen, I'd be terrified, but I'd be very excited at the same time. To answer your second question, yes, I will be doing a 2K15 challenge for anybody who wants to play me in WWE 2K15. I will be getting the game on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So if anybody wants to pretty much go to war with me on there, let me know. I will be wrestling people one-on-one, tag team matches, whatever the case may be. So yeah, if anybody wants to wrestle me in 2K15, I will be doing a subscriber open online. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be a ranked match or if it's going to be, you know, a private session. I don't know. I mean, as long as we all have fun, I don't care. But yeah, I will be doing opens for that, along with Xenoverse when Xenoverse comes out, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But yes, whoever wants to wrestle me in 2K15, bring it on. You know what would be really cool if you guys made me in the game? That would be really cool if like someone were to make a created version of myself, like my wrestling gimmick and whatnot. I think that would be pretty cool. I've had nobody done that to me before, so it'd be pretty cool to wrestle myself, I guess, or just download myself and just play as myself, you know? But yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. To answer your third question, the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror specials have always been my favorite, of course. Over the last several years, they did not do a good job, I guess you could say. The best Treehouse of Horror specials are the classics. Treehouse of Horror 1 to like 13 or 1 to like 17 and stuff. I mean, those old school Treehouse of Horror specials were absolutely phenomenal. They depicted so many classic things, and it gave you like a dark atmosphere, sort of say. Whereas opposed to now, they're trying to, you know, relate to like pop culture and like modern culture by doing all these bullshit skits. It is what it is. I can't really complain. I remember the last one I saw was like the Twilight one. It was just bad, man. I hated that one so much. And it seems like the current ones go by so fast. I think Treehouse of Horror should always be extended to 1 hour. I really don't see why. I don't see why they don't do that, you know? Treehouse of Horror specials deserve to be 1 hour because they can tell a very interesting story. And I'm trying to think. I mean, just the overall synopsis on Treehouse of Horror is just great. Having the imitation by Homer and whatnot, Bart Simpson, it's amazing. But the recent ones, I feel like never lived up to expectation, which is why I don't like them as much. But they are what they are. I can't really complain. But I am gonna watch the one coming up, so I hope that clears that up. To answer your next question, the Antichrist. Yes, I do believe he's amongst us. there's just a lot to talk about in terms of this. I do believe in the New World Order. I do believe that the Illuminati are trying to wreck the planet. I mean, just look at what's going on behind closed doors, guys. Just look at the bigger picture here. Destabilization, GMO, martial law being in effect, cops, police brutality has been on an all-time high. Nobody can refute that right now with me. Police brutality has been going on everywhere, everywhere. Cops have been killing people. For what? For what, man? You give the wrong people power and they're going to utilize it in the worst ways. I mean, the Antichrist is everything. This is my thing, right? I don't understand why a lot of people hate Christ. That's something that really baffles my mind. Christ was a person that wanted to help people, that wanted to lead people in the right direction, that loved everybody, that told everybody to live a good life, to live a pious life, to be a good person, to cherish your mother and father, to cherish your friends and your family, to love God, to not pursue the worst things in life and just live a good life. What do people hate about that, really? Is it the fact that he was against, you know, the empire and he was against alcohol and drugs and adultery and stuff like that? Because a lot of people these days, they love to drink and they love to smoke and they love to commit adultery and you know, fornication and whatnot. They just love those things and they're willing to surrender everything, you know, and in spite of that. And it just boggles me, because what's so bad about living a good life? You know what I mean? About being respectful, about being humble, and by, you know, loving your friends and your family and helping people. What's so bad about that? That's exactly what he taught. And obviously when you have the Antichrist, he is anti-everything that Christ was for. So the Antichrist is all about carnage, destruction, death, murder, starvation, you know, just genocide, overall genocide. And I do believe that somewhere he might be amongst us. And what do I think is going to happen in the near future? Guys, look at what's going on in the world today. Look at the new ISIS terrorist group. ISIS, these Muslim terrorists that are killing Americans, killing people from England, killing people that are all from all different nations, from all walks of life. You know, I have nothing against Islam. I have nothing against Islam. I have nothing against Muslims. I have many Muslim friends. But these terrorists are obviously funded by someone. You know what I mean? They're beheading people on camera. You know, they're just doing things that are just ungodly. And then you have rumors of war going on. It's crazy to see what kind of world we're living in currently. And then the one that's to come, oh, it's going to be bad, guys. It's going to be very bad, because politicians are all liars. People are just out for themselves. Greed is at an all-time high. What more can you do? You can see the world crumbling, and of course they want to orchestrate that because they want to ensue a new world order for them to just go on ahead and control us. And that's, like I said, I'm going to get into a different video for this, but I can just talk about this for days, and it's horrible. It really is. And to answer your last question, Halloween or Friday the 13th, I would have to say Halloween for me, because it just gives you that mystique. It's just like, you'll never know what Michael Myers is going to do next. And of course, he's a serial killer psychopath. Of course, Jason is just like this dead zombie-like psychopath killer who just kills people, you know, on a Camp Crystal Lake and whatnot, particularly teenagers that tries to have sex. But yeah, I would recommend Halloween, because Halloween is more of a creepy, eerie type film, where as opposed to Friday the 13th is like all up in your face. Jason Voorhees is like stalking you, and he's like a big retard who just wants to kill everybody and whatnot. It's different. They're both different. But I would have to say for me is definitely Halloween, because John Carpenter's Halloween was the symbol and the symbolic point of like what a person would do behind a mask, and how his childhood was growing up, and how he's become and grown over the years. So between those two, I would have to say Halloween. But anyways, DJ, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And once again, everybody, thank you all for watching this episode of Fan Mail of the Week. I am your host, Unreal Entertainment Gaming, everybody. If you guys are fans, I really hope you guys subscribe to my channel for all latest news, information, and updates. If you guys enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to hit it up with a like and a favorite. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions on the situation. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. And also, guys, leave your fan mails in the comment section below if you guys want to do that as well. So once again, everybody, thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out my second channel at UnrealEnt Network. I hope you all have a very, very good and safe weekend. Remember to tune into AMC if you want to watch some good horror movies, or just, go online and look up some good horror stuff like 30 Days of Night, Dawn of the Dead, Resident Evil, stuff like that. You know what to do. So once again, everybody, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Everybody, take it easy. This is Halloween. This is Halloween.